is up, Smudge Wellness? It's your girl, Jazmin. I'm a spiritual counselor, I'm a journalist, I'm a girl just hopping around, and I'm so grateful to be joining you guys today, or for you to be joining me, for us to be together, really. As the spring equinox approaches and we are basking in this like shift of the tides, I think, you know, as someone who advocates for just awareness and intentionality when it comes to not only living cyclically, but also just like honoring the environment season and mirroring where you're at in your life and how you are responding to your life, with the awareness of like what's going on around us environmentally and how the universe is kind of telling us we're meant to be sort of utilizing our energy. So I think we're all kind of ready to be coming out of this very long and dense winter season where we were kind of in this period of pause and reflection and rest, which was so important and so nurturing. I think that every season we embark on is so important for like the fullness of us. Now as we enter the spring season, there's this energy of blooming, not only externally but obviously internally. And so I want to talk a little bit about how to ritualize with this spring season, how to make sure that you are also you know, sort of like mirroring your environment in terms of coming back to the fullness and the life that you have to give, and how to utilize what we've reflected on in order to stand in your most creative and fertile space. So obviously this is like universally known, but spring cleaning is like the best thing that you can do to usher in the spring equinox and go into this new season of self. I think that we have shed so much skin and we have released so much in this winter period of stillness and reflection. Internally, externally, we have really done a great amount of letting go. And so now that all these things are gone, it's important to like actually like physically usher out that energy so that we have the space to watch all the seeds that we've planted actually bloom. So spring clean like your life depends on it. I mean, if you like take 2 days to get rid of all of the clothes and all of the things and clear out your drawers, like once you are done, do it again, because I guarantee you that there's stuff you're gonna find that you didn't give away in that first round that in the second round you're like, damn, I don't actually need that. So give it away, clear space. It's such a good way to invite energy to be moving fluidly again, and it's just it's this like physical exhale that happens when you see your environment begin to reflect like the changes that you've made internally. So rid yourself of what you no longer need, Marie-Kondo-ing, you know, really hold everything and ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Does this spark joy? And like, what is the reason why I'm holding on to it? So release things so that you can invite in and cultivate space for what's new, so that you can carry less baggage with you throughout life. There's a really important symbology that's happening here, because I think when we're trudging through life with so much baggage, you don't realize like why the journey feels so much heavier until you kind of like bring your awareness to the fact that like, oh, I'm holding on to so much and I'm weighing my own self down, instead of like releasing it, whether that's limiting beliefs, whether that's relationships, but also most importantly in the spring season, the physical items that you are holding. And really ask yourself, why am I holding on to these pair of sweatpants from the 9th grade that have holes in them, right? Is it because I'm married to the nostalgia that they bring me? And can I actually release this identity? Can I release this part of my life? Can I bless it and know that it'll always exist within my heart and within my memories, but ultimately it doesn't need to take up the space that the life I am going and moving into living is asking to take up. So just clear out things, clear out your closet, donate, scrub, steam your mattress, vacuum, really make sure that your space is open. And like bring that digital cleaning into like your phone. If you have a ton of photos that you just do not need to be hoarding, like clear out space in your phone, clear out space in your computer, just clear out space, make room for what's new. And that was to me, because I keep needing to delete stuff in order to take like a single picture on my phone, and it's because my space is so taken up by selfies that I've had and that I took in like 2020, and it's like, ma'am, why do you need these? So yeah, delete stuff off your phone, delete stuff off your physical environment, donate, give. If something sparks an idea of someone else, give it to them, let them know that you were thinking of them. Just rid. Make space for new, honey. And of course, bring that spring cleaning into your relational dynamics, making sure that you're vetting out, you know, who am I giving my energy to in my friendships, in my romantic relationships, you know, what creative outlets am I actually no longer inspired by? Really just like spring cleaning your entire life, so that as you come out of this space of hibernation, you're moving into an environment that honors and mirrors back who you have shed yourself to be in that period of isolation. So of course, whenever I talk about ritualizing, I always want to incorporate Mother Nature and Pachamama and all the beautiful things that she offers us. So working with flowers is going to be really, really, really like, it's going to be a really potent way to work with the spring energy. So there's so many different ways that you can work with flowers. You can diffuse essential oils. I love diffusing essential oils after I do cleaning, because it's such a beautiful way to purify the air in a way that isn't toxic or harmful. So when it comes to like air purification, tea tree oil and lavender diffused is great, but honestly any essential oil that you use is iconic. So yeah, diffuse your oils. Also working with flower essences like Bach flowers. They are a great herbal remedy and like just a natural alternative to treating any sort of like anxiety or you know, sleep issues, whatever in your life you are dealing with. Even like when I remember when it was in the beginning of 2020 or the beginning of quarantine round 1, and I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, and this is coming from someone who basks in change, but like it was way too many different areas of change at once, and I was kind of anxious about it. And so I remember every morning I would take Bach flower essence that was like specifically for change and like dealing with change and grounding while amidst a lot of change, and it helped me so much. So if you can incorporate Bach flowers to help you move through any sort of liminal space that you're in your life right now, that is a beautiful way to work with the spring energy. And as someone who is a huge color healing advocate, having flowers on display, obviously like respond to the flowers that you're choosing to have on display. So like if they last more than a week in their own vibrancy, then keep them around. Just, you know, whenever you see that it's time to sort of like give thanks, bid farewell, and replace them with new flowers, do that. But always consistently have fresh flowers on display, and make sure that you are intentional with the color flower that you are choosing. Unless you are someone who what are florists? If you're a florist or just anyone who is like really intentional about their flowers and you know the meaning behind certain flowers and you want to work with that instead of like the color of them, then totally move with this intuitively. I know I love working with roses when I'm doing like sacral healing, because I just feel like it's such a like sexy and romantic flower. But yeah, so however you want to respond to your flower usage, just make sure that you're intentional about it. But if you are doing color healing, for instance, I have purple flowers on display right now because we're kind of in this like Piscean energy, and I'm working a lot with my crown chakra, so I'm incorporating purple into my color healing energy right now. But yeah, work with whatever color is kind of intentionally symbolizing something in your given chapter, and make sure that it's on display, make sure that you're nourishing them, and that you are just consistent with upkeeping how many flowers are on display every week. And of course, if we're working alongside the seasons, then we want to make sure we're doing them energetically as well. And so when you're witnessing everything around you be in full bloom, it's important to make sure that you are honoring being in your own blooming period and state as well. So get into your creative spaces. I think right now we are coming out of a space that was really, you know, there was a lot of retrogrades, and we were in this period of like thinking and processing and recalibration. And I think now we're being invited to be in the bloom of ourselves, to have the awareness of who we are when we're authentically creative, when we're standing in our truth, and to now sort of express that into the world. So making sure that you are fertile when it comes to what you are creating, that you're saying the things that you want to say, that you're showing up in the world creatively, whatever that looks like authentically for you. But like make sure that yeah, you're honoring your bloom by just giving yourself the permission to feel good enough to be seen and to turn to the sun. Right, like a sunflower. Okay. And lastly, get a bird feeder, bro. If there's anything that I love about the spring season, it's the fact that you are hearing birds sing more loudly and beautifully than ever. And if you have any sort of outside space, what I actually first want to say is to make sure that you are utilizing as much outside space as possible. If there are things in your daily schedule that you can incorporate into doing outside, so whether that's suddenly you're eating certain meals outside, or you're doing your workout outside, or you're meditating outside, whatever you can do that you typically do indoors and move that into being outside is going to be a beautiful way to sort of like have a dance with nature right now, and embrace the fact that we're in this spring season that's kind of calling everyone to return to the outside. But also, maybe this is just my own bias, but like getting a bird feeder is such a beautiful way to make an offering to nature. And I think anytime we make some sort of like positive karmic offering to nature, we are always met with that same positivity and those same gifts. So yeah, get a bird feeder and just like when you have your meals, you know, put in some seeds there, and like just make sure that you are intentional with the fact that like we are all one big macrocosm. We're a microcosm of a macrocosm, and you know, when everything else around us is in full bloom, we are as well, and when everything is kind of retreating and isolating, we are as well. And so we're back into this period of moving just into being seen, being heard, and allowing our senses to be stimulated, right? There's new fragrances, there's new flavors, there's new fruits, right? Also, I think eating seasonally is really important as well if you're ritualizing. So making sure that the fruits you're eating right now are spring fruits and all of that. And so yeah, those are some tips on how to work with I don't know, spring energy to usher in this new season. I hope that you are feeling vibrant and fragrant and fertile, and yeah, I hope this spring season treats you well wherever you are, wherever the climate is for you. I understand that like I'm in Florida, so it's warm, but maybe you're in a place that is still fucking freezing, and so it may not be as exciting to stand in the potency of the spring energy. But spring equinox is around the corner, it's happening, and so yeah, let's just move forward. Let's move forward and stand in our full bloom and stand in the beauty of who we have watered our gardens to be thus far. I love you guys. Thank you to Smudge Wellness for housing my voice and being the best platform ever. If you ever want to work with me one-on-one, you can do so by visiting my website or my Instagram at Jazmin Kylene. And happy spring season, honey.